Hello everybody, today I can evaluate recursive sequences by substituting the previous term in for an minus 1. So in the last lesson we wrote explicit formulas, we wrote explicit recursive sequences. Today I'm going to give you a formula and you're going to have to write the sequence. So again, super important thing to know. An minus 1 means the previous term. So it wants the sixth term of the sequence. So what I'm about to do, don't write down, just kind of follow along for a moment. So if this was an explicit formula, it would be easy. I would just replace the n with 6. And then an minus 1, well, n minus 1 would be 6 minus 1, which is 5. Which means I need the fifth term to find the sixth term. I don't have the fifth term. So I can't just explicitly find the sixth term. I need to start with the term after the one I'm given. They have to give you a term. Whichever one comes after that, that's what you're going to start with. So now you can start writing. If it gives me the third term, then I can start by finding the fourth term. So the fourth term is going to be 4 times, now an minus 1, again, means the previous term. So if I'm finding the fourth term, then the previous term is the third term. Well, what is the third term? Well, it's given to me. The third term is 12. So it's going to be 4 times 12, which is 48. Now that I have the fourth term, I can find the fifth term. So the fifth term is going to be 4 times the previous term, which is the fourth term. Well, what is the fourth term? I found that right here. The fourth term is 48. I'm taking the previous term and I'm substituting it in to that an minus 1 slot. 4 times 48 is 192. Now that I have the fifth term, I can find the sixth term. So I'm going to do a6 equals 4 times the previous term, which is the fifth term. And the fifth term is 192. And 4 times 192, I don't want to get it wrong, I'm just going to use my calculator here. Even though I'm working in the dark, all these rooms in the school, without movement, everything shuts off. 768, and that's your answer. So it's easiest to see this once it's already written out. I start with the term after the one they give me. They gave me the third term, so I start with the fourth term. I'm substituting the third term in to find the fourth. Then I'm substituting the fourth term in to find the fifth. Then I'm substituting the fifth term in to find the sixth. And where am I substituting it? I'm substituting in the an minus 1 slot because an minus 1 means the previous term. This takes a couple of examples for you to get the hang of it, but once you do, it's really pretty simple. All right, number 2, it's giving me the second term. So I start by finding the term after the one they give me. So because it gave me the second term, I'm going to start by finding the third term. So I'm substituting into this formula. An minus 1 means the previous term. So if I'm finding the third term, it's the second term. The second term is 9. And then I figure it out from here. 3 and 9 is 27. 27 minus 4 is 23. Now that I have the third term, I can find the fourth term. The fourth term is going to be 3 times the previous term, which is A3 minus 4. So A3, the third term I just found in the previous one, is 23. You can use your calculator if you need to evaluate this. 3 and 23 is 69, minus 4 is 65. Now that I have the fourth term, I can find the fifth term. So again, I'm subbing into this. It's 3 times the previous term. If I'm finding the fifth term, it's the fourth term, minus 4. The fourth term is 65. And I believe that's 191. And it's asking for the fifth term, so that's my answer. So again, what am I doing? I am taking the term they gave me, and I am substituting that in to find the next term. Once I have that 23, I substitute that in to find the next term, and then I take that answer, and I keep on substituting it in to find the next term. You'll see recursive sequences a lot within computer programming, where like whatever you input leads to the next thing, which leads to the next thing, which leads to the next thing. You'll see that in video games and different types of computer programming. All right, find the first 4 terms of the recursive sequence defined below. So I'm going to start this one with you, and then I'm going to let you finish it on your own. So it's giving me the first term, so I start with the term after the one they give me, which would be the second term. So I'm substituting it into this. 4 minus 3 times. An minus 1 means the previous term. So since I'm finding the second term, it's the first term. The first term is negative 3. Use the calculator if you need to. 4 minus 3 times negative 3 would be 13. Now that I have the second term, I can find the third term. You do it. I want you to take about, well, whatever time you need. I want you to pause, try to find the third and then the fourth term, and then unpause. Now that you tried this on your own, to find the third term, again, I'm substituting into the formula that they gave me, and I'm replacing an minus 1 with the previous term. Because I'm finding the third term, it's the second term. The second term is 13. That's going to give me negative, no, that's not right. 4 minus 3 times 13 is going to give me negative 35. Now, if you didn't get that as your third term, then pause. Try to find the fourth term, and then unpause. If you did get it, then continue watching. Now that I have the third term, I can find the fourth term. So I'm going to do 4 minus 3 times the previous term, which in this case is A3, since I'm finding A4. A3 is negative 35. You can type that into the calculator if you need to. That's going to give me 109. So, again, what am I doing? I am taking the first term and I'm substituting it in to find the second term. I'm taking the second term, I'm substituting that in to find the third term. I'm taking the third term, I'm substituting it in to find the fourth term. It's asking for the first 4 terms, negative 3, 13, negative 35, 109. That was a little twist on number 4, so we're going to take a look at that. Number 4, again, it says find the first 4 terms. So because it's giving me the first term, I'm going to start by finding the second term. So it's an minus 1, which means the previous term, which in this case would be a1, minus n. Now, we haven't seen this n yet. N is the term that you're finding. By definition, that's what n is. N is the term that you're finding. So if I'm finding the second term, then n is 2. A1 is negative 3 minus 2. A2 is negative 5. Now that I have the second term, I can find the third term. So it's going to be an minus 1, which means the previous term, which in this case is a2, minus n. Again, n is the term you're finding. Here, n was 2. In this term, n is 3. N will change with which term you're finding because n, by definition, is the term you're finding. So a2 is negative 5 minus 3 is negative 8. I want you to try to find A4 on your own, so please pause, find A4 on your own, and then unpause. Now that you tried to find A4 on your own, let's see if you got it. A4 is going to be the previous term, which is A3 minus n. N is the term you're finding, and in this case is 4. A3 is negative 8 minus 4. A4 is negative 12. So the first 4 terms, negative 3, negative 5, negative 8, negative 12. And again, what I'm doing is I'm taking the first term and I'm substituting it in to find the second term. Taking the second term, I'm substituting it in to find the third. And taking the third, I'm substituting it in to find the fourth. If there's an n, that n is going to match whatever term you're finding. That's basically all you need to know about evaluating a recursive formula. I think I didn't give you a lot of examples here. I feel like there should be more. I don't know if there's more in the actual worksheet. But why don't you try number 5 on your own right now? So please pause, try number 5 on your own. Then I will go over number 5. And after that, you'll have the rest of the class to practice. So try number 5. So please pause, try number 5 on your own, and unpause. Okay, now that you tried number 5 on your own, we start by finding the term after the one they gave me. So since it's giving me A5, I start by finding A6. So 5 times the previous term, 5 times A5, plus 2 times n is the term you're finding. A5 is 3, plus 12, use a calculator if you need to, 27. Now that I have the 6th term, I can find the 7th term. 5 times the previous term, A6, plus 2 times n is 7. A6 is 27. Use a calculator if you need to. I'm going to use a calculator on this one. I think I know it. It's probably 149, but I don't want to make a mistake. I don't want you to make a mistake. So that's why we have this beautiful technology, 149. And now I keep on going until I find the term that we want, which is the 8th term. Just gonna A8 equals 5 times the previous term is A7, plus 2 times n is 8. The previous term, A7, is 149. I am going to use a calculator for this one because, again, I don't want to make a mistake. 761 is my guess. And I guessed right. Well, I didn't guess. It's just, what I got. It's asking for the 8th term. The 8th term is 761. And again, whenever I finish going over a problem, I always like to kind of I feel like it helps to visualize when you kind of see that I'm taking the 5th one, I'm plugging it in to find the 6th term. I'm taking the 6th term, I'm plugging that in to find the 7th. I'm taking the 7th, I'm plugging that in to find the 8th. And I'm plugging it in, I'm substituting it in to that an minus 1, because the an minus 1 means the previous one. The only thing I want to talk about for something like number 6, this is a different notation. It's called function notation instead of sequence notation. And if that confuses you, then just write it as a1 equals 16 and an equals an minus 1 plus 2n. It means the same thing, it's just a different notation. So if that throws you off, and again, it's asking for f of 4, it's asking for a of 4. Your classwork/homework is to finish evaluating recursive sequences. This is a very, very, very common Algebra 1 question. It's also asked at times on the Algebra 2. I hope everybody has a productive rest of the period. I hope everyone has a great day, and I will see you next time.